Hello, good evening to everyone. Thank you for joining my presentations. Uh, my Hello, uh, my name is Najibullah Himmat, and today I am here to present my second activity for the course PIDP 3300. The title of my presentation is The Impact of Stress on Learning. So even though my background is management field, so I will try to be good in this presentation because it is a psychological aspect. So let me share my screen. Just I want to know everyone have access on my screen.
Yes,
Okay, that's great. So if you guys have any questions, so please ask me at the end. So let's move for the overview of my presentation. Today, I will talk about the stress on memory, negative impact of stress on learning, positive impact of stress on learning, how to manage student stress. Example number one, it is problem solving to manage the student stress. And the second example will be a project-based problem. Generally, if we talk about stress has a major impact on learning, especially during test, exam, or any type of assessment. Some researchers believe that stress hurts memory, while the other believe that stress help it motivate us, it make us strong to do everything nicely. I can take the example of Robert Spolsky. He has written on his book Why Zebra Get Ulcer on 1994 that long-term stress hurts the part of the memory which is known hippocampus. Hippocampus is the part of memory that help human being in learning or remembering things. Sometime if the level of stress become high and more, there will be a disease by the name of Alzheimer. So the cause of Alzheimer is which hurts or damage the part of the memory is also a stress. Usually we can say that high level of stress make it hard to remember things and concentrate and process informations. University and college students usually face with a high level of stress because of different experience. We can say lack of experience or because of competition with the other students and high load of assignment and homework. Sometimes we can say some instructor may not give them right direction on there will be limited direction from the instructor or maybe the course content or we can say the expectation of the course is not clear. So because of that, student face with a high level of stress. So we have to manage. Later on, I will explain how to manage student stress. Let's move for the negative impact of stress on learning. High level of stress can impair, or we can say damage cognitive functions such as learning, memory, and problem solving. As I already explained that, high level of stress impact or damage the part of the brain which is known as a hippocampus. Uh, for individual, it will be difficult for individual to concentrate on learning tasks if there is a high level of stress. Anxiety in performance. So, high level of stress can definitely impact on the anxiety. Will bring anxiety, which can negatively impact performance during test or any other assessment. Anxiety causes a decrease in the ability to think clearly and make rational decisions. And also, there is some physiological or physical effect of stress. We can say that long-term or chronic stress can lead to physical health problems such as headache, fatigues, and sleep disturbance, further hindering learning and academic performance. Motivation and stress. There is a negative relation between stress and motivation. High level of stress may decrease motivation level and interest in learning activities. Students who are overly stressed may feel exhausted and disengaged from their study. I have my own example. Whenever I was student. So on that time there was a subject. The teacher didn't clearly explain the course expectations and the due date for the assignment. During the exam, I was so confused. So I couldn't study a single word. So I leave and I didn't study anything because there was more stress and I was feeling frustrated that if I study, there will be no result because I didn't know anything. So if the course content or the course expectation is not clear, that will lead to the student stress, and the student stress will lead demotivation in study and in student engagement. And there is also some conflict between research and in psychology. Some people saying that if there is a stress, student may study well, but while the other saying that stress damage the part of the brain, and the student may not study and the student may not learn anything. But while the other saying that if there is a stress, so the student may do better, and the stress make perfect and make stronger the students, and they will do better. So there is some conflict between people and researcher. Positive impact of stress. EU stress. EU stress mean moderate level of stress, not too high and not too low. Moderate level of stress known as EU stress. EU stress can enhance learning and performance. It can increase alertness, focus, and motivation, helping individual to perform and better in their learning task. For example, if I feel that tomorrow I have presentation, for that I will be alert for my presentation. This can be one type of stress that I am feeling that I have presentation tomorrow. By tomorrow, that will make me alert for my presentation. So I will study and I will prepare myself, and that will help me to perform my presentation in better way. So it is correct. Adaptation and resilience. Experiencing and managing stress can help individuals develop coping strategy and resilience. This can be beneficial for learning as a student become better prepared to handle future challenges. And also we can say that if there is a stress level for the students, or we can say for a normal human being, so the human being may set their goal and they will set smart goal, and they will find different way and strategy to achieve their goal. We can say stress is good, but moderate level of stress to set the goal and try to get their goal in future. Goal setting and achievement. Sometimes stress can drive individual to set goal and work toward achieving them. The pressure to meet deadline and perform well can lead to increased efforts and productivity. As I already explained that if there is some alertnesses, or if there is some tension about future activity, so we may set our goal and we may try to find different way to achieve our goal. A strategy to manage student stress. As we are working as an instructor, we have to create a classroom environment where students feel like comfortable, respected, and valued. And we should try to find different way and different strategy to decrease the student stress. There are different causes of student stress. Some student may feel about unclear expectation of the course. Some people may feel stress because of their gender. Some people may feel because of their language problem. So there are some strategy. I will explain some strategy to manage the student stress. Uh, Building a supportive atmosphere, foster a classroom culture where students feel safe, respected, and valued. As we can say in Canada and also US, there are diverse students in class. So some student may feel that I'm like from different backgrounds, some different background, or in the same class, they may feel like shy or disrespect. For example, we should set different rule that students feel comfortable and respected, and their stress level will be definitely reduced. Encourage open communication. Some students may not speak to each other because some may feel I am Christian, some people may think I am Muslim, some people may think I am Hindu. So if there is some open communication between students, the stress level will be decreased. Set clear expectation. As I already explained, some teacher and some instructor not explaining the course expectation, the due date for the assignment, and the outcome or the expectation may not be clear. So as a teacher, if we set or clearly outline classroom role, assignment, and assessment criteria, that will reduce uncertainty and anxiety for the student. In cooperation relaxation technique, there are some relaxation technique for the student. If we think about those relaxation technique also, that will reduce the student's stress. Mindfulness and relaxation exercise. Start the class with short mindfulness or breathing exercise to help student relax and focus. They are all like physical exercise. We have to motivate the student for the physical exercise or for physical light exercise for the student, or we can say stretching exercise. That will also reduce the level of stress. On the day the students or a person do exercise, light exercise or heavy exercise, on that day the student or the person may sleep well. So whenever you sleep well, your stress level will be reduced. Inter Interactive and engaging lesson. Use interactive teaching method like group discussion, projects, and hand-on activity to make learning more engaging and less stressful. So teaching methodology is so important. So sometimes teacher maybe teacher centered. So if there is teacher centered, or portions or lecture covered by the teacher, there will be less student focus and there will be stressful class. So we should focus on our teaching methodology and method. Flexible teaching style. Adapt your teaching style to meet the diverse need for student. Provide them with different way to learn and demonstrate their understanding. Like if we have a group discussion or group activity, after the group activity, student may explain. The student who never speak in front of the other classmate or in front of the teacher, the student may come in front of the class and even if the students speak two words, so that will reduce the student's stress and the student maybe motivate for the future activity and future task. Example number one, whenever we are teaching mathematics, so on that case, there are maybe equation, multiplication, minus, and too many things on mathematics class. So in case as an instructor, I can present a real world problem such as calculating the budget for school event. For example, Christmas is on the way. If we ask the student to calculate for your classmate event, if we have an event, how much we should have money or budget. In this case, student may use their knowledge of algebra or whatever they know. On that case, they may learn so easily the algebra equation, everything. So rather than teaching algebra equation in the abstract, my student would be use their knowledge of algebra to solve the problem. It will make the learning process more relevant, easy, and meaningful, which may reduce student stress and anxiety. Second example, sometimes we may have different project, different activity for the project. Like in science class, instead of simply lecturing, a lecturer could use project-based learning. For instance, in a science class, student could be task with designing their experiment to understand the concept like osmosis. Uh, this allowed them to actively engage with the material from hypothesis, conduct experiments, and reflect on their finding, which reduce the burden of learning and stress. As osmosis, this is the tough concept in science. So it is all about molecule from one side going to the other side, from high level to the low level. So it is a tough subject concept. So if we do through experiment and project activity, the student may easily understand that concept, and they may learn the concept so nicely, and their stress and anxiety burden will reduce. This is the list of reference I use in my presentations. Thanks for watching. And if you have any questions regarding my presentations or regarding me, you can ask.
Hello, it's Stacy.
Hi, hello.
Hi. It's not really a question, it's more of a statement. I'm doing my presentation on exercise in the brain, and I like how you touched on the hippocampus, just because exercise also, the hippocampus has a huge role in exercise and how it affects the brain. So, as it does with stress as well. And I just wanted to say what I've learned so far is that the hippocampus actually can grow larger, which is pretty cool. So that would help with stress regulation, your emotions and all of that. So it's just kind of cool to see how what I'm working on ties into what you've been working on. So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. It is the most important topic we should understand. So, if we manage our stress and if we work on the exercise or whatever managing exercise or available, we can reduce the stress level, and that will definitely help in our brain and in our memory to learn everything and present everything and nicely.
Yeah, absolutely. I also wanted to say I'm going to post this video in our forum there, but it's about stress in the brain and how certain memories are stored differently and how memories take up different space in our brain and how the stress can affect those memories. So, but I'll post a link to that in one of the forums and everybody can have a look at it if they
Yeah,
want. It's
yeah.
cool.
Thank you so much. We will
Yeah.
surely go through your presentation as well.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for your presentation today.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Mustafa, you want to say something?
Yes, hello Najib. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you so
I
much.
do, yes, it was really good to go through some of the strategies that were mentioned by you. I do have one particular question. It might be a little bit different from the content, but in terms of student stress. So, for instance, if a student is going through a stress, either that would be a personal life problems or general problems, or maybe some stress within the group if they are working. So as an instructor, how would you recognize that? And if you do recognize that, how would you tackle that in a situation that you could come out as an instructor? And if it's affecting your other participants, how would you handle the whole thing?
Okay.
I'm sorry, it's some multiple questions, but
It's
I
okay.
hope
Okay.
you
I
understand.
understand. I got your question. So whenever we are teaching in some class and we see, we can understand there are different strategy and different way to understand if the student and are like suffering from stress. Sometimes if we feel that student show that they are not actively participate in group activity or not engage in our lesson, we may feel that student have some stress. So there are different strategy to approach with a student. So maybe we personally talk to the student, maybe Ahmad or whoever as the student, we can personally talk with the student. We can ask different questions like, do you have any problem in lessons? Do you have any problem in your study? Or do you have any problem at your home? Maybe the student have some problem at home. Maybe the student may face with financial problems. So we can ask the student, we can clarify the problem of the concern of the student. After that, we can find different alternative solution for the student. Maybe the student have some family problem. If it is possible, we contact to the student parent. mom, dad, or whoever is their guidance, so we can contact with them and we can find alternative solution for the problem. If the student have a problem at the study, so we can definitely find the solution for the study as well. Maybe the student feel disengaged in our study. Maybe the student have a problem of language. We can introduce the student who is smart in the class to that student to help or work with him collaboratively or as a group and as a partner or as a peer. Please help with a so and so students. So there are different alternatives for the different cases.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Najib.
Thank you so much. I think there is no one to ask me questions.
No,
Uh,
I have a question.
okay, sure.
Yeah, I just quickly like on Mustafa's. Well, first of all, thank you for the presentation.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, and just want to, because Mustafa had a great question. I just want to quickly add something to that. Um, Obviously, it's stress can be, as the word said, stressful for everybody, as is for the student and the teacher. And I feel like sometimes the senses are so heightened that sometimes going in as a teacher, maybe you can easily overstep your boundaries, right? But we recognize it, like a teacher has a finger on the classroom pulse, right? We know if something is up.
Yes.
And I feel like depending like who you work for or with, let's say like you work at VCC as an instructor, I'm pretty sure Vancouver Community College has lots of student services, so they can help out with study or financial aid or like they have lots of services. So it's good to provide those services to the students sometimes, right? Or at least point them out to them, right? So they know there is not just a teacher, there's a whole community that they can help them with certain things, right? Yeah. But my question was, did you come across in your studies any current kind of like numbers that the stress levels are going up in classrooms? Are people generally kind of like more stressed out, maybe after COVID? Did you see anything? Did you find anything in your studies? Is there something that it's kind of increasing in the classroom and people are struggling with more stress and so on?
Yeah, thank you so much. That is very interesting questions. Actually, after pandemic and coronavirus, uh, and because of technology upgradations, we can see the number of stress and the volume of stresses increasing day by day. It is my observations and opinions. Actually, the subject matter is like psychological aspect. It is not my field, so still I study a lot for this presentations. So the number of stress and we can see it is increasing. It is at increasing level because of technology upgradation. We can see different apps student using different app like TikTok, Instagram. Because of those things, student may not sleep properly and they are facing with a stress level during day. They are like responsible for their family earnings and for their study, so the stress level increase because they are not like performing their activity on time. So whenever we perform our activity on time and sleep well and go for exercise on that time, the stress level will definitely reduce. But we can see that this mostly the lecture or the class is on online base. Student like not feeling like responsible for their study, and they are like using different app, different technology. Because of these application and technology upgradation, the volume of stress, it is like increasing.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And I guess like there's lots of coping mechanisms kind of like out there for that people use just to kind of like run away from their stress. But yeah, it's just, I guess we both are not working. I'm working in the culinary field, and it's an interesting topic, but obviously it is a very deep kind of topic to kind of like understand. And but you did a great job of presenting. It kind of raises more questions and makes you more aware of all those things, what stress can do, right? So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your question. Thank you so much for everyone for joining my presentation. Hello, any question?
Yeah, hi again. I have one more question. When you were doing your research, did you find much information on diet and stress? Like
Diet.
if, yeah, on diet, like the type of foods you're eating, if there's anything specific that might help with some of alleviating some stress.
Actually, I didn't go through about food, but usually, yeah, food has definitely play a role on stress. As we can say, the fast food, the student who are like eating fast food, they always feel frustrated. Some people, I can say, they are not cooking at home like fresh food. They always refer to fast food, and they are like we can see that their stress volume is too high. As we can say, I came from a place whereas there is not much more like technology that people not using all these things, so I can see the number of stresses less. Definitely the developing country having less volume of stress than advanced countries. Yes, food is definitely have a role on the stress. So if you want to add your point, that will be great for us.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Welcome.
Hello, my name is Brandon. Thank you very much for your presentation. I just had a question. In your research, did you ever come across the concept of the mindset of stress is enhancing and the research around that?
uh, I didn't catch your question. Can you please repeat it back?
Oh, sure. There is some research out there that I've caught in passing called stress can be enhancing, and it's a mindset as you've heard of growth mindset, and this is another type of mindset called stress is enhancing. I was wondering if any of in your research you came across that.
Yes, yes, yes. I already explained that there is some positive impact of stress. Some people saying that stress make us strong and alert for the future activity. As I gave you the example of Kelly McGonigal on 2015, she did her research and she clearly explained that if people have a moderate level of stress and the person because of that stress made me focus and alert for the activity, and that stress make growth mindset of the students or the person to be prepared for the future activity.
Yes, very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Any more question? Okay, I think we should stop. Thank you once again for joining my presentation. Have a good day.